Konnichiwa, friends. I'm going to give a bit of an update on how things are going for my running plan. You may remember, if you've been here before, that I am trying to run 500 kilometers by the end of the year, which means that I need to run 50 kilometers per month each month until the end of the year, so that I can multiply 50 by 10 and get 500. A little bit of the old American educational system for you right there. So I have been plugging away at things. I've been trying to keep with my running plan. It's pretty simple. I just need to run about 12 kilometers per week, and I'm breaking that down into 3 runs per week to give myself a little bit of leeway. My plan is to run 4 kilometers 2 days a week and 5 kilometers 1 day a week. That will put me over my target, so it does give me a little bit of a buffer to work with there, and it feels pretty manageable to do 4 kilometers on Tuesday, 4 kilometers on Thursday, and then on Sundays do a 5 kilometer run around the Imperial Palace. Unfortunately, this past week I didn't run around the Imperial Palace. It was very cold and rainy, and I just didn't feel like I wanted to go there, get all hot and wet running, and then come home freezing cold. It just didn't seem like a good idea. So instead, on Sunday, I ran closer to home. A little bit more on that later. Last time I said that things had been going well and I hadn't so far hit any major obstacles. However, things obviously changed once I made such a silly proclamation last week. The weather last week was pretty terrible all week long. I wanted to run Tuesday, Thursday, but Tuesday was cold and rainy, so I didn't go running. And then I think Wednesday too was cold and rainy, so I didn't go running. So I did go running on Thursday, and I felt like I was a bit behind the 8 ball, so I decided to run a bit longer than I really should have. So instead of doing a 4 kilometer run, I did like 5 3/4. And towards the end of the run, my lower legs started to really bother me, and I probably should have listened to my body, but I assumed that my body is as dumb as the rest of me, so why would I listen to it? Anyway, that had an impact on the rest of my week. But I did my run on Thursday. I went running Saturday and Sunday. So things are going pretty well. One of the things that I am a bit worried about is, like I said, my lower legs have gotten pretty sore. So there's 2 things actually. Number one, I really need to find a way to recover better, I think. I think what I probably need to do is ice my legs after I run, and then maybe take a hot bath, something like that. I probably need to use a foam roller or a massage gun, something like that. I don't know. I'll check more on that later. in the future. See how that goes and let everyone know how I feel about that. The other thing that I think I really need to do is lose more weight. Obviously, carrying over 100 kilograms on my spindly little bird legs is not easy. And I think just all of the impact of my weight on my legs is causing problems. So my priority going forward, outside of just the running part, is to really improve my diet more. It hasn't been terrible, but it hasn't been great, so I do need to improve my diet more, shed more kilograms to lighten the load, and work on my recovery. I've been pretty good about rest days, but I need to do things like icing and heating and massage, things like that. So I will work on those. I will give more information about those. I will also run around the Imperial Palace this upcoming Sunday. So again, if anyone wants to join me, 4:30 Sunday afternoon at the Sakurada Mon, that's where I'll be. And I think that is about it for the main updates. However, if I'm not mistaken, we've got a little, do we have a little bit of a treat for? Yes, we do. We have quite a treat. We're going to hear directly from the horse's mouth and see how his run was. All right, just finished a 4-kilometer run, and it was the worst run I have ever run in my life. My legs are really sore, and I had rested yesterday because my legs were sore. I thought that once I started running, the soreness would kind of work itself out, but it did not. And I just ran 4 kilometers at a 9-minute per kilometer pace, and it was terrible. So great. 5-kilometer run tomorrow at the Imperial Palace should be a hoot and a holler. Wow, that's worst run ever. Whew. I do hope that his run on Sunday was both a hoot and a holler. Oh man, so 2 really tough runs 2 days in a row. My legs just don't feel great. I need to do some research for how I can recover a little bit better. I feel like I have shin splints maybe, I don't know. Anyways, at least I ran 9 kilometers this weekend, so runs are done, and that's good. He really is quite the wordsmith. Well, 9 kilometers isn't bad, and I've heard that in total he's run over 30 kilometers for the month, so that is quite good. Anyway, thank you all for joining me once again, joining us, and yes, I'll see you next time. Everyone.